Waldo County Commissioners Special Court Session Agenda, and this meeting is going to be recorded. So roll call, Commissioner Parker.
Here.
Commissioner Kelly here. The first order of business is I want to hold a moment of silence for the passing of Commissioner Betty Johnson that served 15 years. Thank you. One other thought about her legacy is she surely will be missed. The depth of knowledge that she had about county government and the expertise and her dedication to Waldo County I cannot speak enough to it. I think Waldo Hemingway said it best, is that people die twice. Once when you take your last breath, and the second time is when you stop speaking someone's name. So I wish that you would speak her name going forward, even in your thoughts and prayers. Thank you. So the next thing on the agenda is that we have to vote for a chair. So it's up to, the county has 3 commissioners. So any nominations?
Go ahead. Make the nomination.
I'll nominate myself.
Okay, really?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. Are you sure?
Sure.
Okay. I'm not gonna force you. I don't mind doing it if you want me to do it or if you don't want to do it.
All right, so we're going to arm wrestle and flip a coin.
You made the motion, I second it.
Any discussion?
No.
All right, so I'll call the question. All those in favor? Motion carries. There's a second motion I'd like to put on the floor. It's assignment of duties, and it's to assign duties. We're a liaison with certain departments and trying to divide up Commissioner Johnson's liaison responsibilities. I'd like to put a motion on the floor to assign the DA's office, deeds, and the EMA departments or cost centers to Commissioner Parker. I'm sorry.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor? Motion carries. Review and revise agenda. I would like to revise the agenda a little bit, specifically about the budget concerns and comments and discussion to after. We have today scheduled at 11 o'clock an abatement hearing, which has been pre-scheduled, and the county is required to have that hearing within a certain period of timeline. And so we pushed that timeline as far along as we could, and we have to have that at 11 o'clock. I think the discussion on the budget will take longer for those in the audience and between finance and HR and the commissioners. So I would like to push that. We'll have a recess after the abatement hearing and then come back in and talk about the budget. So I want to move any budget discussion, which does not include the warrants or a couple of motions, to after the abatement, appeal for abatement of property taxes starting at 11. Do I have a second?
That was a motion, right?
Yes.
Second.
Second. Any discussion?
No.
Motion carries. Consent agenda, or the finance report has been removed from the consent agenda. But is there approval for the consent agenda for the minutes of March 27th, December 16th, and December 18th?
I'll make a motion that we approve.
Second, any more discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries. Moving on, public comment. I know there's a number of people in the audience here. Any public comment to start off with? We'll probably add a public comment during the budget hearing. So just for expediency, we will, if you have any public comment on any other issues, if not, we'll move on. Now we need a couple of motions, and I'll ask the finance director to come forward. I just want to make sure.
Just a second.
Motions needed. So you want to put your request on the table and we'll do the motions?
Yes, there's three actually that I need. The first, I am requesting that we please reinstate or have the treasurer resume the responsibility of auditing the warrants prior to my presentation to you. This was a task that Commissioner Johnson had been doing, but the audit portion is very important to preparation.
Any discussions?
Yeah, I still really think, I mean, I don't mind making the motion, but I really think that we're gonna need an outside independent person to do auditing for us. I still strongly feel about that, especially with all of the financial stuff this year.
Sure.
So I don't mind making the motion, but in the
Alright.
future, I'm still gonna want somebody else coming in and,
This is just primarily for the warrants. This has nothing to do with the actual audit. It's auditing the warrants for you that you make the motion bi-monthly.
right, I understand.
Okay,
But I'm still gonna want somebody eventually to come in and take a look at
Alright.
everything.
so do you have a motion to approve?
Yeah,
that?
I'll make the motion to approve that the Waldo County Treasurer resumes the responsibility of auditing all warrants.
Second, any more discussion?
No.
Call the question, all those in favor? Motion carries. Second motion?
To make a motion to pay the first quarter of jail housing for Somerset in the amount of $375,000.
I'll make the motion to authorize the prepayment of the first quarter of the jail housing expenses for the amount of $375,000 to Somerset County to be paid for the fiscal year budget of 2025.
I'll second for discussion.
Go ahead.
So within that $375,000, does that include the medical, some of the medical expense for the residents or inmates?
I'm not sure of the breakdown. I just know that it was a flat
It's a flat
$375,000.
$375,000. Okay, all right, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Motion carries. Third motion?
I need to make a motion in the amount of $80,801 to pay Civic Plus and Edmonds out of the 2025 budget.
So that motion is that you want is for $51,811 to Edmonds and
Nope, Civic Plus is
Civic
51,000.
Plus, and then 29,000 for Edmonds for a total of $80,811.
Correct.
Want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion that we make payments to Civic Plus for the amount of $51,811 and to Edmonds in the amount of $29,000 for a total of $80,811.
I'll second for discussion.
Yes, please.
So Edmonds or Civic Plus is the new website
Correct.
software that we're going to, and it has AI built in, so it will help facilitate minutes getting out quicker to the public, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And when do you think the soft landing date of going live is? Any idea?
On Civic, I would have to defer to Jason regarding that. He's
Okay.
been working on that.
And then Edmonds is the new accounting software. What's a soft landing date on that to go live?
February 1, 2027.
Is there any way to accelerate that?
We've talked, and right now that is where they're at. I do have another monthly meeting with them, and I can ask them if there's any way that date could be moved up.
Okay, let's, when you have that meeting notice, make sure I'm notified. I want to be in on that Zoom call and talking about database conversion, what comes over and what the process is. I want to see their written timeline or Gantt chart that gives us, a fixed clear picture of what we need to do. Any other discussion?
Yeah, for the clarity, can you please explain the reason why we're making the move?
Oh, sure. So go ahead, explain the reason for the move to a new software is accounting software.
The accounting software that we have right now is inadequate. Outdated.
And it led to issues with us being able to retrieve data, correct?
That is correct.
Thank you. I'm good.
Okay. Second, call the question. All those in favor? Motion passes.
Another item that I need to have a discussion is I got a call yesterday. EMA uses a software program called DH4.
H4.
DH.
D4H. D4H.
Oh, D4H, sorry.
D4H.
Yes, D4H.
All right.
This is part of it's in their budget. However, the company has been bought out by somebody else. They are grandfathered because they have been using the software and they're giving them a grandfathered price. This invoice is due before our next commissioners meeting. And it was asked if we could pay this via ACH to ensure timely payment. The concern is that if we do not pay this in a timely fashion, that we could get rid of we would lose our grandfathered amount. And it could cost us anywhere between $10,000 and $15,000 more than what we're currently paying. And
what is D4H software utilized?
I'm gonna defer to Dale.
Defer to
because
Dale.
He is here.
Sure, Dale, come on up.
So we use.
Identify yourself because we're being recorded.
Dale Rowley, Emergency Management. We use this software to manage our emergency response, our disasters. Towns were able to input their data. CMP uses it. It's a collective collaborative tool. We also use it to track all of our training, our certifications and qualifications and volunteers and all that type. Right now, we're paying about $4,400. That's about 1/10 of the actual cost. But we've been with them for 12 years.
So if we pay this invoice, if it's approved.
Yeah.
How long is that $4,400 for this year?
It's an annual.
It's an
It's
annual.
an annual.
And we have a contract that states that it'll still be $4,400 in 27 and 28.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, and is this coming out of 25 budget or 26 budget?
26.
26?
26.
We don't have an approved 26 budget.
You have to use the figures
2025?
for 2025.
Which
That
is the same amount.
Okay, so where will it come out of?
It will come out of the EMA line
Okay,
that our numbers we're working off the 2025 numbers.
Right, they already have it budgeted for 25.
And it's the same amount.
I've got it. That answers my question.
So what's the total amount? Because it's not listed here.
$4,410.
$4,410.
Yes,
In 0 cents?
correct.
I'm gonna make a motion that we go ahead and pay the invoice ACH for D4H for the amount of $4,410.
Second for discussion. Any more discussion?
No.
Call the question. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you.
I just want to note that mileage rate was 70 cents. That has increased. We have contract obligations that clarifies that we have to use the federal rate. That federal rate is now 72.5 cents.
I'll accept the motion.
I'll make the motion. I'll make the motion with the discussion federal rate.
I'll second with discussion. Go ahead.
I think that because of the budget, I think that we need to get rid of the mileage reimbursements
For
for
everyone.
Yeah. At least for the elected positions. I mean,
Yeah.
employees, they have to come to work and they have to, we have to give them mileage for the traveling and stuff, but I mean,
All elected positions.
I don't know. Can we do that statutorily?
Barb?
I don't know about statutorily, but I do recall years ago that one of the reasons to pay mileage reimbursement is if there is an accident that occurs during county business, if there's no record of mileage reimbursements, it's very hard to prove insurance wise, whether it was work related or not, or it can be. That was something that was told to us a few years back, but
I
throwing it out there.
could see that for employees, but for the commissioner's office, I mean, we don't need the mileage reimbursement. I don't need it. So, I mean, I'll approve it, but I'm not going to be putting in for mileage anymore because we're trying to cut this budget down.
I'm not clear on the statute here, Barb.
I'm not either, so we'd have to research it. I'm not sure you can ask employees legally to do county business.
I've already moved from that. I said elected officials, those aren't employees. Employees they have the right for mileage. We've already moved past that. But we're in the discussion part, and I think that we have an obligation to cut down the budget, so the commissioners should get rid of their mileage.
So would you mind tabling until the next commissioners meeting for
Sure.
legal review?
Yep. I'm good
Okay,
with
friendly at it.
Yep.
But we'll approve it for the employees.
I had no issue with the employees.
All right, so the motion is.
The rate that we were giving employees was different than the commissioner's rate anyways.
No,
Oh, you guys were getting the same rate.
Pretty sure we were getting higher one, because I remember us talking about it in a workshop.
Not that I'm aware of.
You were all getting 70 cents and everybody else was getting 70 cents.
All right, so so your motion restated is for employees, and we'll table.
Again,
Commissioners
again,
for-
I don't know where the employees part is coming from. My motion was that we go ahead and approve the 72.5, and then we got into discussion. And I said that in the discussion that I feel like that the commissioners shouldn't be taking mileage. The motion was already to approve it.
Okay.
We're in a discussion right now. But two totally different things. I don't know where the confusion's
So you
coming from.
are you clear, Barb, in the minutes?
I am,
Okay,
thank you.
all right, call the question. All those in favor? Okay, thank you.
And then finally, I have Timothy Keys from Rudman and Winchell here to sign the documents needed for our TAN. And I asked him to come up here.
Sure.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Tim Pease, a law firm Rudman Winchell, and got some actions for you to take in order to authorize the tax anticipation note for 2026. The first document, and really the only one that I need to read into the record, and I need you to take a vote on it. And then after that, there's one document you need to sign, and then the finance director and the clerk need to sign some additional documents. So bear with me. I want to read this into the record. Resolution of the Commissioners of Waldo County, Maine, authorizing the issuance of and sale of up to $5.5 million of 2026 tax anticipation note with Waldo County, Maine. Whereas Waldo County, Maine is authorized by 30A MRSA 932 and other applicable laws to borrow money in anticipation of taxes. And whereas the Commissioners of the county have determined that up to 5.5 million should be borrowed in anticipation of taxes, and that for that purpose, a tax anticipation note not exceeding $5.5 million of the county should be issued. Now therefore be it resolved by the Commissioners of the county as follows. Section 1, the issuance, sale, and delivery of the note to First National Bank are authorized. The note shall be sold to the bank at an aggregate purchase price equal to the original principal amount of the note, and it shall mature on December 31st, 2026, and shall be subject to prepayment or redemption in whole or in part at any time, with or without penalty, as the county finance director shall determine, and shall bear the interest at a rate of 5.22%. It shall be payable as to principal and interest as set forth in the note, and shall contain such other terms as are set forth in the note. Section 2, the county finance director is authorized and directed to sign the note and a certificate of finance director on behalf of the county. The official seal of the county is authorized and directed to be affixed on the note and the certificate. The note will be signed by at least a majority of the county commissioners. The county finance director is authorized and directed to deliver the note and the certificate to the bank upon receipt of the purchase price therefor. Section 3, the note is hereby designated as a qualified tax exempt obligation for the purposes of Section 265 sub B, the United States Internal Revenue Code. Section 4, the commissioners, the county clerk, and the county finance director are each authorized on behalf of the county carry out or cause to be carried out all the obligations of the county under the note and the certificate, and to cause to be done all acts, and to execute and deliver all certificates and other documents as may be necessary and proper in connection with the issuance, sale, and delivery of the note, and in carrying out the purpose of this resolution. Section 5, all actions heretofore taken by the commissioners, the county clerk, and the finance director relating to the issuance and sale of the note to the bank are hereby ratified, approved, and confirmed. Section 6, that if any officer or official of the county has signed or sealed the note shall cease to be an officer or official before the note has been authenticated or delivered by the county. Such note nonetheless may be authenticated, issued, and delivered with the same force and effect as though the person or persons who signed or sealed such note had not ceased to be such officer or official. And any such note may be signed and sealed on behalf of the county by those persons who, at the actual date of the execution of such note, shall be the proper officers and officials of the county. Although at the nominal date of the note, such person or person shall not be such an officer or official. Section 7, this resolution shall take effect immediately, approved January 8, 2026 by the Commissioners of the Waldo County, Maine, at a meeting duly convened and sufficient public notice and conducted at Belfast, Maine. So I'd ask you to move and approve that resolution.
I make a motion, we move it.
I'll move it with discussion.
Good.
So we can approve this without an approved 2026 budget?
Yes.
We can.
Yeah. Your budget that you're working under right now is based on the 2025 numbers. Under law, that's what you have
Correct.
to work with right now.
Okay, so we can approve it. Okay, any other questions?
No, I'm
I'll
good.
call the question. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you.
Great. I have one document you need to sign.
The commissioners?
Yes.
We'll sign it and make sure you get a copy before you leave. Well, this might take a couple of minutes. Thank you. Do you want to sign or officiate so that you can leave?
Does it require a county seal?
A number of the documents require a seal.
So we're going to just pause here for a little bit
You
while
want to sign them?
we process the document.
You want to sign them during them? Okay.
Sure.
Thank you. We'll send you the originals.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate everyone's patience here.
You're all set.
Yeah.
Do you want to sit right here and do it, Barb?
Sure. I'm gonna grab a pen. Thank you. Yeah. Is that one? I'm gonna take these off when they're done. And I'll turn them. You, Stand it, yeah, sure. I got some of these for the originals. That's one. Yeah.
How many copies are being executed? 3? Just one?
One.
Wow.
Just double check, make sure you don't need to attest that one.
Nope. Not this one.
Nope. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barb.
Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, warrants.
Right to Barb.
Oh.
So the warrants you're presenting are the last ones for 2025,
That's
correct?
correct.
This is the final last call.
This is last call.
Okay.
That opioid warrant. 0.
Can everyone hear back there? Thank you. And you have the current balance and interest?
I do. So the current balance in opioid is $500,666.02. Interest to date is $27,320.14.
Read those one more time.
Ending balance of 12/31 is $500,666.02.
Okay.
life to date interest is $27,320.14.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll make a motion that we approve the opioid warrant for an expense of nothing.
Second. Any discussion?
Who's chair?
Kevin,
Okay.
We get used to it. That's second, no discussion.
To approve, I'm sorry.
I did.
Tim,
Thank you.
second. Call the question, all in favor?
You've already signed it.
Just want to make sure it's in the record.
The jail accounts payable is $480,902.98. That's 480,902.98. Payroll for 12/31 was $52,678.36. That's 5267836 for a grand total of $533,581.34. That's 533,581.34.
Make a motion that we approve the jail warrant for a total of $533,533,581.34.
Second, any discussion?
No.
Call the question. Unanimous? Is that blood or is that
No, it's red ink.
red ink?
Yes.
Just want to be clear on that.
Yeah, looks like blood to me.
The warrant for the county accounts payable is $215,045. So 215,000.45. The payroll for 12/31 was $202,299.97, 202,299.97, for a grand total of $417,300.42. That's 417,300.42.
Thank you. I'll accept the motion.
I'll make a motion for $417,342.
Second, any discussion? Call the question, all in favor? Motion passes.
Thank you.
That's jail, county, and opioid.
Yes.
And TAN paperwork. Anything else on
Nope.
finance? Rest is budget.
Rest is budget.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Waldo County Emergency Management Agency. I never want to forget that department.
So I've got the signature page for the agreement with the town of Waldo for the use of their facility as a shelter.
There are two
It's the same
copies,
as
one.
this one, right?
What's that?
Same as this.
It is. The only thing is I took Betty's signature off.
Thanks, Tim.
Oh, thank you.
I just want to read the indemnification clause.
I think that's at the top of the.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
It's to use their community center.
So that's a Waldo County, I mean, the town of Waldo can use that, a emergency building as a warming shelter.
No, it's so that the county EMA can utilize the town's community center.
Town's community center,
Correct. As a overnight shelter for the whole county.
overnight.
Correct.
Okay, good. I've got it now.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think all you had to clean up was the indemnification language.
Make a motion to accept the emergency management agency shelter agreement.
Second, any discussion?
No.
Call the question, all in favor? Motion passes.
And I'll scan you, send you a copy.
Beg your pardon?
I'll scan and send you a copy.
Thank you very much.
I've got to go get the town of Waldo signature too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Communications tower, Mike, you're here.
I'm here, but we discussed that at the
You have to
workshop.
step up so you can get in
Yep.
camera view and announce your name, please.
We had ended up discussing it in open court the last time. I just want to make sure we were good with all that.
Okay, and just refresh.
That was the old Liberty Tower that we're still fighting on the contract with.
Right.
They're still wanting payment, saying that we violated the lease.
And we've kicked it to legal, right?
It's been kicked to legal and they're
Right.
telling us to stand pat on it, so.
Okay. And so we terminated that contract, like
December of 2022.
December of 2022,
Yep.
and we're still receiving invoices, which we are not paying.
Correct,
Correct.
And for the record, we do not use this tower.
correct. We still have equipment on the tower that we cannot retrieve due to the fact that it's not structurally safe.
Perfect.
Okay, any other?
Nope.
Thanks, Mike.
Yep.
County clerk report.
Okay. This is normal course of business. There is a enclosed for your records, a notice of layout and taking for a parcel in Brooks. If you wish to look at that, you can. It is retained in this office for a year, but retained permanently in the registry of deeds after that time.
So you just need it in the minutes to
That we
reflect that
received
we
it.
reviewed, the commissioners reviewed.
Correct. Received in,
It's regarding a right of way, right?
yes, that's usually, it's an eminent domain
Yep.
type of thing. And I believe, other than the minutes which you already approved, that was all I have to report to you.
Do you want us to make a motion accepting this?
Sure. I'll accept the motion.
I'll make a motion that we accept the notice of layout and taking from the State of Maine Department of Transportation.
I'll second. Any discussion? None. Hearing none. Call the question. All in favor? Motion carries. I've read this.
Thank you.
I've read this already. Thanks. Anything else from county clerk?
Thank you. No, thank you.
That's it. Human resources. Please identify yourself. Make sure you're in view of the camera.
I'm Tracy Benton. I am the Human Resources Director. We do have 2 step increases. Both of these were in 2025. They took effect between the time we had the last court session and the end of the year. So the first step increase that we have is for the sheriff's office. It's for Officer Elijah Stone. He was due his 6-month pay step increase on December 2025. And his step increased him now to $31.84 an hour.
Noted.
And then here is the form to sign for that.
Were we doing motions on these before?
We used to do
Well,
motions and
there-
now we've moved to,
But they're steps, we just so note them
So no.
because they're already
Okay.
done with contracts.
Yep.
Thank you.
and the second one that we have is for Officer Anthony Holhauser, also Sheriff's Office.
Yep.
He had successfully completed his training and he is now a fully certified status, MCJA. I cannot recall the name of the training. It's just, that's the completed training. So he is now a certified officer.
Maine criminal
Is it Maine
justice.
Maine criminal justice, yes, that's correct. So because of that, that takes effect December 19th, 2025. And his fully burdened rate of pay has now increased to $33.67 an hour as a fully certified deputy.
Per contract.
Correct.
So
Thank you.
noted.
So noted.
That is all that I have for step increases. I do have a brief executive session for labor contract.
Okay, before we go into executive session for labor contract issues, just so the public knows, I think my pace is a little bit more brisk. And I move quick through things that need to be processed and needs the commissioner's input or whatever. I typically hold in between motions. I do a motion with discussion. That way, if there's any more discussion, it's already on the table. Thank you. So we need a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make a motion that we go into executive session regarding MRSA Title 4056D for a collective bargaining agreement.
I'll second. This should take 5 minutes. Thank you. So we're in executive session.
And would you like me to leave you?
So noise machine indoor, please. We're still being
We vote on
recorded.
Welcome back. Sorry we took so long.
Wait for the recording. So we are back in session on the January 8th, 2026 Waldo County Commissioners Court session based on title subchapter 1, 4056D. We're back in a live session.
So I'm gonna make a motion that we approve the MOU with the NCEU local 137 for the purpose of holiday accruals such as earned last full pay period of calendar year shall be accounted for and accrued in that calendar year.
I'll second. Any discussion? Call the question. All those in favor? Motion carries.
Very much. We'll get a copy from that
Yeah.
later from you. Thank you.
Anything else?
That is all that I have.
Anything else? Nothing else? Okay, so we're gonna recess then until 11 o'clock, where that's a public abatement hearing. And then, once the abatement hearing is over, then we'll come back and have, we'll still be, public, to talk about the 2026 budget. We left more time. I know there's one added person here. We left more time. We moved the agenda so that it can be recorded and we can give more time to the budget in case there's any public comment while we're talking about the budget. So we're in recess until 11 o'clock sharp. Thank you.
I'm on May 1st.
We're just waiting for IT to get settled in because this meeting will be recorded.
We're totally moved. Good plans.
He's great.
Yes.
So I'm calling, ending the recess and calling back in the Waldo County Commissioners Court. And we're going to continue. We're going to start with a tax abatement appeal hearing. And I'll read the procedure. And so today is January 8th, 2026. And the abatement appeal hearing is petition number 387. County Commissioners in attendance today are myself, Kevin Kelly, I'm the chair, and Timothy Parker. A few instructions before we begin. The petitioner will first present their case in evidence, after which the defendant and commissioners will have an opportunity to question the petitioner. The defendant will then present their case in evidence, after which the petitioner and commissioners will have an opportunity to question the defendant. We are recording this hearing. Therefore, we ask you to speak one at a time. The person trying to transcribe this recording will not be able to distinguish the voices of two or more people that are speaking at once. The recording may not pick up measurements by hand, so you must give distances verbally by feet or yards, etc. You cannot shake the head from side to side or up and down. You must answer yes or no. After the commissioners have made their decision, which may or may not be today, either party may appeal this decision to the Superior Court of the State of Maine in accordance with Maine Revised Statutes annotated Title 6, subsection 844, and the Maine Rules of Civil Procedure, Rule 80B. Does everyone understand these instructions? Say yes.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Please stand to be sworn in and raise your right hand. Do you swear the evidence you're about to give is true and to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Thank you. You may be seated. For the record, please introduce yourselves one at a time. We'll start with this gentleman here and go around the table.
My name is Duke Seminole. I'm here to speak for Mrs. Hamilton because I have a better understanding of the nuances of the process.
Thank you.
My name is Claire Hamilton, and I am here to try to see if we can get an abatement on my property and my home.
Thank you.
Jackie Robbins, I'm the assessors agent for Brooks.
Thank you.
Mike Schweitzer, I'm one of the select board members for the town of Brooks.
Thank you.
Darren Meharry, select board member.
Thank you.
Linda Lord, select board member.
Thank you. The petitioner may now state the case, followed by a time for questions. After the defendant may state their case, followed by a time for questions. You may proceed.
Thank you, sir. It's funny that in the history of the world, there's only two groups of people that have ever been deemed infallible. The Vatican deemed the Pope infallible in 1870, and the state of Maine deemed Maine tax assessors infallible in 1977. Unfortunately, the only thing that the assessors, what they teach you in assessor school, I was a certified Maine assessor, is that you have to be consistent. And consistency is the problem with Mrs. Hamilton's assessment. She lives in a 1,728 square foot double wide trailer that's 25 years old. She and her late husband have kept it in good condition, but it's still a 25-year-old double wide. It is currently assessed at $155,100 just for the improvements. At that level, her improvements are taxed higher than 65% of the improvements in the town of Brooks. They are taxed less than most of the commercial buildings in town, less than all of John Thomas's manufacturing facilities that it would fit inside of, less than J.P. Wentworth's old store, 4,200 square foot store, 3,200 square foot warehouse, and 4 active fuel pumps that are the only fuel pumps in an 8-mile radius. The answer from the town compared it, and what we have pointed out to the town was that most of what is recognized as a mobile home in the town of Brooks is taxed less than single wide trailers are typically 1,000 square feet, and they're typically taxed in Brooks between $10,000 and $20,000. Her property, it is a better unit than a single wide, but there are also 40 stick-built ranches in town taxed less than her trailer. Their average assessment for the buildings, just the buildings, so they're notwithstanding, is $108,455. And we're appealing it because out of all of the units, it makes no sense. The assessor's agent, in her answer, cited the fact that there were double wide purchases at $254,000, that there were other properties in town that have been bought and sold that are double wides, but her property is still a 25-year-old trailer. A trailer loses 55% of its value in the first 10 years. It's only through due diligence that it's in as good a condition, but it's also still built inferior to a standard ranch house. You folks have the same supplemental question answers that I have. I can repeat the numbers that are in them if you want, or I assume you've gone through them. You always do. And the for example, if we're going to use what's recently sold, there was a completely refurnished antique mansard house in town on acreage that is assessed for $229,000, but it's only assessed for $179,900. That includes the land. There is no consistency, is the problem. And you can go down through the tax commitment of all 464 entries, and it's potluck as to pick and choose. Just basically for a 25-year-old double wide trailer, for the building to be taxed more than 65% of the town, whether it's a trailer, an industrial building, a commercial building. Her trailer, it's very nice, but it ain't that nice. It just can't be. A brand new double wide trailer in the state of Maine, which is about the size of what Mrs. Hamilton has, they sell installed for between $120,000 and $150,000. And she's being taxed more than that for a unit that's 25 years old, has maybe 10 years remaining life in it. Without going on, ad nauseum. I mean, I have numbers, I have comparisons, I can pick and choose up and down. I've given you several examples, but as I said, the bottom line is 65% of the town of Brooks is valued more than Mrs. Hamilton's double wide. Yes, sir.
Questions?
Go ahead, questions?
Is this because of the TIF district in Brooks? You're mentioning all of these buildings. I would assume that those buildings were captured in their TIF district.
Oh, God, no,
Which-
there. Excuse me, I shouldn't overspeak you.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't asking a question, so go ahead.
Most of these buildings have been there for ages. Mr. Schwitz's restaurant that's taxed almost the same as Claire's Double Wide has been there since I moved to the town in 1991. All of these buildings that belong to John Thomas, that belong to Hagstrom's Pot Shop, that belong to J.P. Wentworth, he just replaced it with a whole new store. All of them have been in place decades.
Okay, so now I'm gonna finish my question.
So
No, you're okay. So I know that when I was with the town of Unity, we had a TIF district where we had a zone and we would capture so much of the money that would not get sent to the state of Maine, and it would keep the taxes low in that district. Is this one of those situations where a TIF district is involved?
No, sir, because just regular houses.
Yep.
And as I said, I've sat there going through the tax commitment that's available from the town website and picking out different houses that have sold, residences that have sold, on the Hall Hill Road on the other side of town, they're all over the place.
Right.
I mean, it makes no sense that all over the town of Brooks, there are houses and businesses taxed less than a 25-year-old double wide trailer.
I hear you, and that was the reasoning for my question, is because the point of your TIF district is to allow businesses to come in and create economic growth and to give them a tax incentive through some kind of financing of some sort. How they do the financing is all based on different towns and how they do their TIF district. I was just simply asking if that was one of these situations. That's all.
Thank you.
Lee, do you have any comments? No. So what's the fair market value of the trailer and the property right now?
Fair market
This property
of this
that
property,
you brought forth as the petitioner, assisting the petitioner.
if you were to sell, and Mrs. Robbins had cited several that are there, the fair market value of the property and the acreage, which is 9 acres, that has been valued in accordance with the land schedule that the town put out this year, would probably be in the vicinity of $125,000 land and building.
Do you have any documentation? Because I don't see it in the package here of this property.
I have not, I was a certified general appraiser for USDA, but I have not prepared an appraisal for it. Secondhand trailers don't sell well, and they cannot be financed in any federal programs.
Okay, so to be clear, for this property here, you don't have any documentation presenting fair market value for this property that we're talking about for this appeal.
No, sir, I have just compared it to what other ranch houses and manufactured homes are in the town of Brooks. But I have not turned around and said, well, if you put her on the market today, what could she get?
Okay, thank you. So any other comments you want to make on your presentation as the petitioner's representative?
I think you have the gist of it, gentlemen.
Okay, thank you. So we'll now move on to the defendants. Who's going to be speaking?
I guess I'm stuck with it.
All right,
So-
identify your name again. So
I'm Jackie Robbins.
thank you.
So I want to make a few comments. One is he's putting all kinds of buildings together. He's talking about commercial buildings and stick-built houses and this sort of thing. What has happened with double wides is that they have, in the last, well, since COVID, I think, they have turned into regular houses as far as what they sell for. But single wide trailers, which was in this list of, I don't know who didn't, in this list of comparing the prices. Every one of these trailers is a single wide, except for, well, every one of them is a single wide. And the problem is that single wides stayed about the same. They tanked and stayed right about where they were. When double wide had to be increased to what I call a lower standard of a regular house, of a regular one-story ranch. And the reason for that is the state every year gives us a summary of our sales, and then they average them out, and then they tell us where we're at ratio wise. And all the double wides we had, except for we had one that there's an error in that it was a single wide and then they put in a double wide and I didn't catch it. But we have I'll just say it real quick. We have we have a sale of a new one that's valued at $260,000. So it is more than that, but it's a newer trailer than that. But it's more than that. And then we got another one with just land. That's $154,000. I mean, just a trailer, no land. And then we did a study of, we have a study of, do you guys have this? If you don't, I can give you one. We have a study of sales within the county and what they sold for. And they're all different years. And so last year we had to change them around so that the rest of the world didn't have to pay their tax.
I don't have one.
Oh, okay, you want one?
Yep. Thank you, Barb.
I think that's possible.
Can you make copies? Yeah.
So, to be fair, we had to change that category into a D grade house in order to not get our ratio go down in the dumps. You know, they're now, whether you like it or not, they're now selling for $2 something. Most all of them, well, I think all of them, but some of these are from different towns around here, but the rest is in Brooks. And they're selling for I got one in Jackson that just sold for $350,000. Now they had a garage and a little entryway with it, but gee whiz, you know. So,
but to clarify, that's from buying the land, putting in a septic, putting in a driveway, having a pad poured, and then putting the trailer on.
That's not how it works, but it works that how everything is valued all put together in there. You know what I mean? Right. It's not you could call you could call a trailer salesperson and ask them what they'd sell a used trailer for, a used double wide. And it would be a whole lot less
Right.
than it is all set up. All set up with everything, it's like it's like it's a house. And they don't devalue like single wides do. Single wides haven't really been affected by this, by the housing shortage, by the, but double wides have become.
Right, but that was the question, is that it's almost like getting a brand new house built.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. And I did write her a letter and tried to kind of describe that to her. And then I also got some that like this one's a 2009 on Lang Hill. And that sold for 254,000 2 years ago. If they look good and they're well maintained and that's what they're gonna sell for. Here's one that's that one's smaller. And I'm not sure some of these years, I can't guarantee that some of these years are accurate. Here's another one from 2009 that had a garage and a pad and it sold for 254,000. So what we did is we went 2 years ago, we went through and took all the double wides and put them in a lower grade house value, description, and that's what they're going for.
Any other comments on the dependent side? I think you had your hand raised earlier yourself, or from the town, or no? So question. I got a question for you, Jackie. So the mobile homes, single or double wide, are now the town is classified as stick built, but in a lower grade, or is it double wide lower?
Just the double wide.
Just the double wide.
The single wide trailers haven't really had much of an effect. The only way they've had an effect is somebody's bought it, taken it out, and put a double wide in it, or built something there.
Okay.
They really haven't sold much, and she'd put in the original request.
I was just curious. So when you say stick built, now most homes are being 2x6. Is there a difference between 2x4 and 2x6?
There are older ones, older double wides. I probably would take a 2x4, and I probably would a 2x4 house if I knew it was 2x4 and knock a little more off.
So you're doing it by the appraised assessment and not by fair market value, or by selling, or the markings of the actual price something sold for?
No,
looking at
this is how it goes. Every year the state sends people around and takes all your sales, or up to like 20 sales, and sends us a record of how many of these sales there are, and then they ask us what we had it assessed for. And then they find the ratio between the two. Like if all the houses sold for $100,000 and we got them assessed at $50,000, then the assessment would be $50,000. But it doesn't mean that every property, we're talking double wides here, every property that we assess we're not going to match it up to what it sold for. You know, if somebody
So it's the
paid,
appraised value.
right, it's an appraised value. The
Not
most important thing is,
comparison to other sales, you know, that happened within the past year or two. It's the
Yeah.
appraised that you're going. That's the
yeah,
appraised value.
but we're going for what sales go for, and then taking a averaging all about where they are in the ratio.
Okay.
But to clarify, it's off of comparable sales,
Right.
correct?
Well,
Okay.
the percentages off are comparable.
Right. Like obviously, you're not gonna take a building like the Wentworth store and you're gonna compare it to a trailer.
Well, I was just
You're
gonna
gonna
say
take it,
that,
right.
the Wentworth store is going to go for somewhere in the $2 million or more range. So you can't compare that to
Right,
this.
it goes off of comparables.
Right, and you also can't, the trailers, you also can't, some trailers are gonna be in good shape and some are gonna be in awful shape.
Right.
And so you gotta take that into consideration.
Yes.
Any other questions?
I'm okay.
Any comments, any more input from the defendants and the petitioners?
Well,
Go ahead, Jackie.
I wanted to say that one of the things that can help her, I don't know whether she does this, regardless of whether you give her an abatement or not. If she files a Maine income tax form at the end of the year, you don't have to make any money, you can make nothing. You fill that out and you send it in, and if it's over a certain percentage of your income, your tax bill, then they will give you money back. They will help you. And I for one, retired last year, semi-retired, and I got money. I couldn't believe it. So I would just make sure that you know that, so that you could do that either way. I mean, you can do that either if you get an abatement or if you don't.
Thank you. I'll go back to the petitioner real quick and then.
One quick statement, because there have not been that many sales in the town of Brooks. The last couple of years have been slow. But Mrs. Hamilton's trailer is taxed at $89.75 per square foot. There are 40 stick-built ranches in town that their average assessment is $108,455 compared to Mrs. Hamilton's $155,100 just for the improvements. So they're averaging $67.75 a square foot, more than $20 a square foot less. And since, as Mrs. Robbins put it, you kind of have to work with the appraised value, as Mr. Kelly put it, as much as comparable sales, because there are not many comparable sales. Then her house should be being valued considerably less, because the stick builts are going for $67.75 a square foot, and they're a higher quality than her building. And that's the only comparison that I can make.
Thank you.
Um,
Back to Jackie.
Unfortunately, I don't know who you're talking about to compare it to. I'm more than willing to look at who it is and get their card and have our card and see if there's,
That would be an offline discussion.
yeah.
That's right. Okay, Lee, do you have any comments?
Well, first, I'm Lee Woodward. I'm not a county commissioner, and by any means, I'm an attorney locally that has advised the county commissioners over the years on certain real estate matters, including abatements. I just, before you deliberate, just kind of want to go over the ground rules as to what you should be looking at under Maine law, it is presumed that the town valuation is proper. They come in with the presumption in their favor. The burden of proof is 100% on the taxpayer. They must prove that their property is overassessed, and as opposed to proving that other properties are underassessed. She has asked for an abatement of $125,000, indicating that the fair market value of the property on the appeal is $58,500. In order to grant that full abatement, you'd need to be convinced by substantial evidence that the current value is $58,500. But again, the town comes in with the presumption in its favor, and the burden of proof is on the taxpayer to show that the property is overvalued.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is this a photograph of the property?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? No. Are we ready to rule?
Yeah. I'm ready.
Do you want to put a motion on the table or? Or do you want me to put a motion on the table?
I mean, either way, it doesn't, I'm impartial either way, whoever does,
Okay.
it doesn't really matter to me.
I'll put a motion on the table that I'm denying to deny the appeal for abatement of property tax for Miss Hamilton based on the facts presented.
Second.
Any more discussion?
No.
Let's call the question. All those in favor? Motion carries. Abatement is denied. Thank you for your time. We will now go into recess for approximately 10 minutes and reconvene at 11:50 to discuss the 2026 budget. Thank you.
Harry's gathering some things and she'll be right in.
We're on recording.
Not yet.
Oh, yeah.
He is,
We'll hear it.
he
We'll
is
hear it.
getting it going.
Okay, I'm calling back the Commissioners Court for January 8th, 2026. And this discussion is going to revolve around the forthcoming budget, the 2026 revisions that has been presented to the commissioners, but we're going to walk through them again. I'm going to turn it over for a few seconds here to Commissioner Parker. He has some comments.
So even though today's January 8th, tomorrow is January 9th, and that is National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. So it's if we could just take a moment to just a silence for our law enforcement officers for appreciation. That day was it's led annually to honor and thank law enforcement officers for their services and sacrifices. It was established in 2015 to recognize the women and the men that protect and serve our communities. So if we could have a moment of silence for our law enforcement officers, that would be greatly appreciated. Okay, let's move on.
Thank you. So I'm going to slow the pace down since we've got the normal day-to-day business completed for this court session, but I want to slow it down. And so I want to give the finance director and HR director time to walk through the numbers. And then what I'll do is I'll open it up for public comment at the end. That way, if anybody's got questions, we can get through this. The last time it was an hour and 45 minutes. And so we've got a little practice, but I want to hold public questions until the end, and then we'll go to the public.
reduce that budget by $14,467.45. Those changes included the personnel savings from the adjustment of the 27th pay period, as well as the reduction in hours on a part-time position. It was moved from 27 hours to 24 hours. And of those 24 hours, 9 hours will be paid with grant funds.
So we reduced one part-time position, and a part-time position doesn't have benefits.
Correct.
We reduced that from how many hours to what?
27 hours to 24 hours.
27 to
week.
24. And within those 24, there's 9 hours that are paid for by a grant.
That is correct.
All right, there was another position out there that's not reflected on here that he had that was paid for totally by a grant that ended December 31st of 2025.
That is correct, because the
Okay.
funds for that are no longer available.
So on the employee worksheet, it states that reduced from 27 to 24, 9 hours of the 24 paid by the hazmat grant. Okay. And he did do research. I know Dale is very detailed as part of his engineering degree. He's tracked all his grants since 2006 when he started here. How much money has he raised for the county?
I think it was about $10 million over the course of,
Over $10 million he has raised just in grant funding for different.
yes, for the county of
Okay.
Waldo.
Do we have any grants outstanding right now that he's applied for?
Not that I am aware of. I do know that with whatever's going on with the federal government right now, a lot of his grants are held up. And so there's uncertainty as to whether or not he will receive additional grant funds moving forward.
Okay, so for a budget committee question, so one of the questions would be, does he have any grants pending? That we need to go back to him on and just to notify the budget committee, but that's always a wish list type of thing. We're not sure based on what you mentioned. Okay. And then, so his budget decreased by how much?
$14,467.45.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Question. This option one that you're presenting isn't the same as what we went over on Monday. What
There
were
was
your main
additional changes, and I will go through those as we go along. There was changes to the commissioner's budget. There was changes to the IT budget. There was changes to the sheriff's budget, and there was some changes to the jail budget.
And to the benefits budget as well.
And the benefits as well.
Okay, so there was changes since Monday,
Yes,
or adjusting one way or the other.
adjusting one way or the other, yes.
Okay, thank you.
And thank you, Tim. You do have
Yep.
two options in front of you.
Yep.
All right, so that's Department 1010, Emergency Management Agency. Department 1015, District Attorney.
The savings there was just personnel savings. There was no reduction in any of the budget lines. And that reduction was $13,029.
Okay, so statutorily, I'm looking at their employee worksheet. The admin legal secretary is statute. The victim witness advocate is statute, and the other position, victim witness advocate, is statute. So 3 of those 5 positions are statute driven. Correct?
Yes,
Okay, all right. And you were able to, working with him to reduce their budget by another, how much?
$13,029.
$13,029. Okay. All right, county commissioners.
Savings in there, the commissioners will no longer be receiving a COLA. There was some personnel savings as well. We reduced the insurance liability. We reduced dues and capital outlay. The reason that the reduction is this is based on actual costs, because with liability and dues, the organizations contacted us and gave us the actual figure for 2026.
Okay, so you had an actual figure.
Yes,
So the office administrator, associate position, which is part-time, that has now moved to finance department.
that is correct.
Okay, I want to back up to 1010 real quick. Vehicles, they've got 3 vehicles out there. I know 2 are funded by grants. It's the communications and command vehicles. And then the other vehicle, the Jeep, is paid for. That's a 2018.
And grant funds were also used to purchase
And
that
grant
as well.
funds were used to purchase that vehicle. Okay, any vehicles in 1015 district attorney? No.
No,
No vehicles in 1020 county commissioners?
no.
No, okay.
You said that there was a change in the commissioners, but I don't have a change on my page for
Then maybe there wasn't. Maybe those changes happened on Monday.
it. Okay,
There's been a lot of numbers going back and forth, Tim.
just ask.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
So I see the appropriate for that office assistant for 25 was 28,742, but nothing in the lines, and that's been moved.
That is correct.
Okay, all right.
Ready to move on?
Let's move.
Okay.
1021, this one's gonna take a little bit. Go ahead.
Resources. So we were able to reduce the budget by a further $3,000, $3,064.69 due to personnel costs by changing the pay periods.
Okay,
The professional services line that did have to go up because that includes all of our background checks, and there are some very thorough, exhaustive background checks for any of our sheriff's office personnel. That also includes any legal fees, so involved in contract negotiations and addressing any issues. And then finally, there was one added in, the jail professional services, that was removed from the jail budget and added into the human resources budget, because that's the jail portion of our payroll system. And our payroll system is also broken out into that professional services line.
so that was one of the general ledger line moves that we made out of the 46, 44.
44, 46 line.
44 or 46 general ledger lines that we moved to get them right under, to get them underneath the correct cost centers.
Correct.
And we require a more intensive background checks, not just the normal.
Extremely intensive,
Right.
including in some cases psychological examinations and polygraph
Right.
tests.
I'm ready to move on.
Okay. In your one-person department, no vehicles?
Correct.
Okay, meals, lodging, equipment, dues, posts. I'm ready to move on.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on from HR to
Finance.
finance office, 1025.
So we did have personnel savings there of $2,854.06. It's 285,406. A couple of items that I just want to note for the minutes. The finance, the office associate's position is now under supervision of mine. That has not been done in the past. So you will see on the personnel sheet that there is a value there for that
So
position.
that $46,948 has been moved to your department, which was a one-person department to start off with.
Correct.
And now that's actually going to be shared
With
based on workload with
Other
HR
department.
or
Yeah.
county clerk. Okay,
Let's keep in mind that that was a corrective action that was due to the auditors. That was it was recommendation that we have the extra personnel there.
point taken.
And
And the
then-
other finance assistant, the key staff, I call it staff accountant, that $54,600. That's a new position.
correct.
It's highly recommended by the auditors.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
all right, and we did have that savings, like you said, due to the payroll rollback. Okay,
Yes.
any other savings in there that you were able to, that was it?
No, my budget, if it was not for those two other positions that we added in, my budget would be under the COLA increase.
Okay, so just to review, you're full-time, the finance assistant's full-time, which is the staff accountant, and the office associate is full-time.
Correct.
3.0 FTEs, got it, okay. Are you good,
Yeah. let's move on.
Commissioner? Okay, 1030 facilities management.
The only savings from that was $6,365.3665. And those were personnel savings. There was no changes, but please note that we also included several lines from the jail. We changed cost centers.
So like electricity, the utility costs, let's put it that way, utility costs,
Yes.
which includes propane, electric. How many GL lines in that department did we add? Do you know off the top?
15,
15?
yes.
So out of the 44 to 46 general ledger lines, we moved 15 into facilities to get them underneath the right cost center. Okay, the reason I keep repeating this is because it's caused some confusion, because trying to compare 25 budget to 26 budget, you're not looking at apples to apples anymore. because we moved to get the accounting system cleaned up in preparation for the transfer and the database transfer going to the new accounting software. So I just want to be sure on that. Anything on facilities?
No, it's
My concerns on facilities is I know he's got a quote in for a roof, 13,000 and change. I think that was that up here? Was
Yes.
this building?
Yeah, it was to patch this one.
Okay. However, the county jail, the 72-hour hold building has a roof that is questionable, that we're kicking down the road, holding our breath. That's a flat asbestos tarred roof that could become issues for us.
And I believe the last time we got quote on that, we were looking at $250,000.
Correct. And I can remember under the SMRT report, which was the jail consultation report that we went to with all 4 counties, SAG, Waldo, Lincoln, and Knox, that the soft figure in there, because they did a structural review and put soft numbers. I remember that number, I think, at $220,000. So those numbers are pretty close together. I have concerns on the jail. I just want that to be reflected in the minutes. Anything in facilities? Tim, I know that's your liaison for that.
Yeah, no, I really think that at some point we need to have a conversation. If we were to ever open up a reserve account, it would be for major infrastructure.
Good. So
we already have a reserve.
we have 5 reserve accounts, and we've got that letter into the state auditor to combine reserve accounts. We have to notify him that we're going to change reserve accounts. And so they have to be notified. And I think that letter went out December 18th.
It went out
Thereabouts? No,
earlier than that.
2 weeks earlier.
I think so. And
Okay.
so I still have not received anything from him. I need to follow up.
Are they back from the holidays? So, okay. All right. So there's that. I know there's 5 reserve accounts for facilities, and that's one of the ones that we really want to consolidate. I think there's 29 active reserve accounts.
28 active
28
reserves.
active
Yes,
reserve accounts with a balance of over 1.8 million.
correct.
And that's under the statutorily purview of the commissioners.
Correct.
Okay. IT, this one's been a hot button.
Yeah,
It's
and I have this one was reduced. So what did we reduce it by?
Yep. So we reduced it by personnel savings. That was $4,065. And then we also reduced the lines by $90,000 because we paid Civic Plus and Edmonds.
So we took that out of 25.
So the 81,000 is the reason why it's being reduced?
Yes.
Yes,
And
okay. That was the motions we passed.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect.
oh, and there was one other bill that we paid from that Jason paid this period, and it came to a total of $90,000. And I can't remember off the top of my head what invoice it was.
What was
But
that for?
Jason,
That was we have a warranty monitoring for the jail camera system. That came in this year from, I'm gonna remember it, I'm gonna forget, Seco Security just got purchased by another company and I can't remember the new name. It's something Parker. But that came in and we paid it and
Not Commissioner
not
Parker.
Commissioner Parker, it's like Buying
For the record.
Parker or something to that effect, the national company. But that was paid out of 2025. That was about $7,000.
So the reduction is based off of paying bills?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready to move on.
All right, and then we are adding a new position. It's in the budget. It's another 1-person department. So if we look across the board right now, we have finance, a 1-person department. We have HR, 1-person department, IT, 1-person department, and county clerk, 1-person department. Okay. All right, let's move on. 1065 registration, a registry of deeds.
so the changes, there was no changes from last time, but we did reduce deeds by $40,460. That is personnel savings, and then freezing a vacant position and not funding that. We are not getting rid of the position. It is just unfunded.
So we're freezing a union position,
Yes,
and it's going to be unfunded for 2026.
correct.
Okay.
And that is under the recommendation of our register of probate deeds.
Okay. You good?
Yep.
Let's move on. 1070 probate court.
Probate reduction is $10,147. And those savings are personnel savings.
And that's due to the rollback.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You good?
Yep.
1075, Sheriff.
Total savings for the sheriff. This is one that was definitely a change. We had personnel savings of $86,610. And after having a conversation with the deputy sheriff,
Deputy Chief.
Deputy Chief, thank you. He
Good catch.
reduced his capital outlay line by $21,500.
So capital outlay by how much?
$21,500.
Okay.
All right, and down the bottom of his worksheet, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions. Are those all, we received revenue on those positions, but they're cost neutral? Is that how is that I'm
Yes.
saying it correctly?
What we spend out for them is what we receive back.
Okay, and does that cover their total cost?
Yes, that includes employee and employer costs.
Okay. And one other note on this salary worksheet. I noticed the sheriff decreased his salary and it's only the 2.7% COLA, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
And that was his
His
request.
personal decision, thank you. Anything else on sheriff? Any idea how many at the end?
I'm not gonna be able to stay.
Okay, what's your question?
I just wanted to ask, was the arithmetic error changed in the sheriff's?
Was that a worksheet compared to a budget,
I'm not-
consolidated sheet?
I'm
You know
not
what it was there?
sure what you're referring to.
I've raised it a couple of times.
You,
If you looked at the list of positions, the 2025, and then the projected increase in salary, that was worth about $290,000.
Okay.
When you do the addition down the
Oh, the math
bottom
down?
to arrive at a total, those increases were ignored in the total. So the sheriff's budget was underrepresented by $290,000.
so
In the original, I don't know if it's.
it was Tracy and I, it's always been right. I don't know how. I know that somebody had brought it to my attention and Tracy and I spent the course of 2 hours trying to figure out how he got his numbers and how it was presented correctly to the budget committee. There was not an error in those figures.
So he's talking about the worksheet. I know what he's talking about.
I'm talking about the sheet that lists every single
Correct.
employee.
Yes, the
And you'll
worksheet.
see that there is substantial increases in every single employee. And then unless it's changed, I've looked at it very recently in terms of the version that is on the website. If you total all of those, it's like 2/3 of the way down the page. The total is actually less than 2025. And it can't possibly be with all the increases in the salaries. But if that's changed, then that's good.
So just revisit line 3005.
Yeah.
On that one. And I think that's the line he's talking about. We'll double verify
Okay,
it.
and I'm sorry to interrupt, but I do need to.
No, I understand. Thank you though. Thank you. Anything else on sheriff?
No.
Let's move on. 1076 regular dispatch.
This budget was reduced by $56,660. This was by freezing and unfunding a vacant position. The position is not going away. We are just unfunding it.
Correct. Okay, and that's a union position.
Yes.
Okay. 1080 special appropriations.
This is not part of the, to try to get the budget under 15 million. I looked when trying to figure out what we could cut. I looked at what was not part of the operating budget and what was not required by statute. My recommendation was that we cut special appropriations for those two reasons. And so I reduced that line by $12,500. Since our meeting on Monday, I also learned that our Waldo Communication Center has been paying a program in the sum of $17,000 that the one of the requesters had asked for funds. So even with that extra information, I still feel comfortable reducing special appropriations.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go for it.
Okay.
So.
Which one?
All of it. I mean, so basically what you're saying is that you're reducing all of them to zero.
If it was not part of the operating budget and it was not required by statute, I reduced.
So the answer is
those numbers.
yes. Thank you.
Okay, I see, I now get what you're saying. Okay. 1090 audit.
I reduced that to the original commissioner's request of $25,000. The budget committee increased it by 5,000 to 30,000, so I reduced it 5,000.
Okay. Debt service is 0, 1095, no change there. Interest, 2,000.
I decreased the request another 10,000 to help us get under the 15 million goal. And based on looking at historical numbers paying an interest when we start using the TAN in January and or February.
Okay. Any questions on interest? No. 2005, extension.
That is required by statute, Title 7, subsection 194. I made no changes to that.
Okay. All right, 2025 employee benefits. Walk slowly through this one here. I want to make sure we know exactly what you did on this one here.
So there are a couple of reasons why the employee benefits budget increased so dramatically from last year's. The first of those is that there were a lot of items that had not been looked at prior to now. In the past, whenever we were looking at the employee benefits budget, we were only looking at the premiums portion of the insurance costs. We have broken that out into much more detail. We wanted to be clear and transparent on the actual costs that the county of Waldo has to pay for all of its employee benefits. Part of this also, another part of the increase is that several of these line items were originally in the jail budget. And we have pulled those out of the jail budget and put them into the benefits budget where they belong so that we can have a consolidated look at all employee benefits into just one budget.
So you've added which lines specifically? Dental insurance?
Correct. We added dental insurance, which had never been a separate item.
Stop loss?
Correct. That had never been a separate item.
Weekly claims actual?
Yes, this is used to, we can explain how this works, correct? Yes.
Okay, and then weekly claims overage?
Correct. The weekly claims overage is the amount that Waldo County has to pay, which is more than what we are taking in from our premiums costs. So the weekly claims actual is what we pay every week, how the benefits work. We are self-funded, and how this works is that self-insurance and self-funding, we use the Meritain. The employee goes to Meritain and Meritain tells the doctor, okay, this is worth this much. And then Meritain turns to us and puts out their hand and say, pay for it. So everything that every employee and all of their dependents, to the tune of, I believe we have 122 covered lives, counting all dependents. Every single thing that any employee or their dependents goes to the doctor for, we have to pay. So that is the weekly claims actual. And we take in money throughout the year through our benefits premiums. And what we are paying, the overage, is more than what we are taking in for the premiums. So we had never explained that before. We had never broken that out before. And that's why we're seeing such a great increase, because now we're breaking out and we're going into detail on these items that actually truly reflect the costs to Waldo County with how we have it self-insured.
And you've actually put in here as an offset,
Correct.
The employee contribution for their premiums, which is 15%, and the county picks up 85%.
Correct.
You've also corrected action that line by taking the jail stuff out of it and put it into its actual line.
Correct.
So
yeah. So we originally requested, I know the commissioners requested all in 4.9 million. I know the budget committee on the first pass, they cut it back to 3.9 million.
Yeah. Correct.
$3,971,000 and change?
Yep.
Where are we at now?
So all in, we've
All
looked
in.
through it and we have cut it back to complete total is. If we have that broken out for the-
We didn't, you ended up breaking, we had it and then you ended up breaking it out.
Yeah. So we actually just broke it out completely into individual items. I'd have to sit with a calculator, but we have reduced it again. From the initial request for everything was $6,361,350.56. And after going back and recalculating everything, we are now at.
This is the difference between
The
the
difference
budget.
between the budget we'd originally presented and then now is $1,323,241.01. And part of the reason why this had been so much larger when we first presented it is that we are being asked to make decisions on benefits, information that we don't receive until later in the year.
Right.
So we didn't have a
So
total.
projected,
Correct.
right?
Yeah,
So
And now we have an actual.
correct.
Correct.
So where's our risk at?
Okay, our risk here is going to be in our weekly claims actual. We have a stop loss insurance, which if you look, the stop loss premiums have increased pretty dramatically. We had to go through a slightly different setup for our stop loss. We had to increase the risk from $120,000 to $130,000 per person, not per employee, per person covered lives. So because of that, the county would now have to take on an additional $10,000 of claims per person if there's any massive claims that come in before the stop loss kicks in and we receive any reimbursement. The reason for that is the premiums were going up 90%. In order to get the premiums down, we went to a slightly different plan and got the premium increase down to only a 22% increase. But that did take more liability on ourselves. And we sat down with the broker and we looked at the stop loss. We looked at the claims from 2025 and we came up with the projected total for the weekly claims actual. And this is what he was saying is the most recommended based on our previous year's claims and based on our stop loss.
So, but we are still at risk for
Absolutely.
$120,000 and
Yes.
we're decreasing the budget.
Correct.
And so is this a low risk, medium risk?
Pretty low risk.
So let's say low risk.
Yes.
Okay, for another $120,000.
Correct.
So I think for the budget committee, I think since they saw the original request at 4.9 million, if you can add up the right columns and so they see what the total cost is, since we broke it out, but now let's bring those costs back to a total number. That way they can see, okay, we requested 4.9, it got down to 4.2, then we were looking at $3,971,000 and change.
Okay.
So if they see that number
Yes.
of where we're at, I think that it makes it a little bit more clear for them.
Okay.
Yeah, the difference, absolutely.
No,
Yeah,
1.3.
because I know we've got over 100 hours staff time in the past 3.5 weeks on this, and
Yes.
I want to make it as simple as possible to understand the numbers. Anything else that came down in your budget?
We were able.
Well, let me go back to benefits before we leave.
Yes.
So we have 3 open positions. And we're booking, our budget is for family coverage for those 3 positions. And we're doing that because when we hire somebody, we don't know if they're a single employee coverage or married coverage. And if we booked single, then the difference between the single and the married, if I remember rightly, is $66,000 and change or $62,000 and change.
It's a huge difference.
It's a
13
big,
it's a huge
between
difference.
Yeah.
single coverage for the year and family coverage for the year. It's I think $13,000 per person.
per person.
Correct.
Okay, all right. So, but we booked 3 families for the
Correct.
open positions that we
Correct.
know we're gonna fill. Okay. Anything else on your individual lines there? Any major changes?
So we had gone back between the admin assistant and myself. We sat down looking at all the budget increases and we calculated manually what the effect would be to the penny for every single one of these budget line items. So
Okay.
the 457, that one's unchanged. The Maine State retirement, we calculated to the penny. And that ended up being a savings of $94,244.78 for county. But the jail Maine State retirement did increase because there would be some increases in their salaries All of this is driven by salary.
It's by contract.
Yep, and we did also include, when we were calculating this, we factored in overtime, we factored in stipends, we factored in everything that's contractually required to get a real number to the penny. And we were able to see some savings with the county, but we did see an increase with the jail.
So we participate, based on the 4 unions, and non-union employees, we participate in 3 retirement programs, AC, 2C, and 3C, correct? There's an employer contribution and employee contribution.
Correct.
And we're not counting the employee contribution as any revenue.
Correct, that's not, that just goes
We don't
straight to
count
them.
it. Okay.
And then there's group life insurance also through Maine PERS.
Okay.
And again, we went back and we calculated that down to the penny for every employee, based on what we'd see for the proposed increases for the budget.
Okay, thank you.
That's those next 2 lines, and there SRS insurance and jail and SRS insurance.
Anything else on your department?
Sorry?
Anything else?
Yes, FICA, again, same
FICA.
thing, we sat down, this is federal income tax. And employers are responsible for paying a portion of this.
Right.
And we sat down and calculated this to the penny of what it would look at, looking at all the increases, looking at all of the overtime, looking at all of the stipends, every single contractual obligation. We went through and we calculated it down to the penny of
Okay,
what that
thank you.
impact would be.
Anything else,
We
Travis?
did see a savings on Maine paid family medical leave. Because of when we began participating in a private plan, we are not required to pay into Maine paid family medical leave this year until May.
May.
So,
1st?
correct,
So that'll hit the May payrolls.
correct.
Okay.
So we were able to calculate that, reflecting that the decreased amount, based on our payroll timing. And so that we did see some savings there in the Maine paid family medical leave and the jail Maine paid family medical leave. We saw a decrease of $7,950 for the county, and we saw a decrease of $2,477.94 for the jail.
Okay, all right.
Workers' compensation, we did finally get our quote back for next year. We have received our first bill for workers'
How
comp.
close were we on your estimate versus
We were
versus
off
actual?
by $300.
$300. Okay.
Yes.
So we reduced that $300?
We've left that as is because we do have 2 potential additional employees coming in for finance and for IT.
Got it.
So that
Thank
will
you.
make up the difference of the $300.
Okay, thank you.
And then medical eye care, special medical eye care and discretionary are untouched.
Okay. Anything else? Any other questions? Yeah, good. Okay, 2035, water and soil? Or soil
Again,
water?
Not part of the operating budget, nor is it required by statute. Again, to get us under the 15 million threshold, I did originally take that out, and that was $25,000.
Okay. Records preservation, no
There was
change.
no change.
0%. There's nothing budgeted. 2045 reserves.
There was no change in that. The amount is the same.
Amount is the same. Okay, so total that you've got is with jail is $14,959,154.99, which is a 17.06% increase. in
Now,
budget.
I'd like you to note
No.
that this is without the special appropriations and without water soil. I know Commissioner Parker has expressed that he would like to see special appropriations. So I've presented you with option number 2, which is on the backside.
Option 2, which includes both of those special appropriations and water and soil funded to the requested amounts originally, which is $12,500 and $25,000 in this budget. So that budget is now the grand total on option 2 is $14,996,654.99, which is a 17.36% increase, which I believe both of these are below statute, any of the applicable statutes.
Currently, yes.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Perfect. Now I'm gonna set up my 3rd one. So I would like to make a motion because I was refused earlier. I would like to have the number for the increase that is contractual through unions presented to us.
The number.
We're going up to 17.33. I want to know what part of that 17.3 is contractual?
Contractual.
Meaning that we can't touch it. I want to know what that number is.
Oh, okay.
And I'm making that motion
That's
because
good.
earlier I asked for information and I was refused.
So contractually, so that's just salaries or
Yes.
salaries and benefits or just salaries?
I want it to be made very clear to budget committee that even though it's 17 point whatever,
Yeah.
there's an 8 or 9% in there that we
That's
have
No
no
control.
control over. We cannot touch it. It's already been done and
So-
and it needs to get put on this paper for people to see.
I got your point. So I just want to continue the discussion here.
Yep.
So does that tap any benefits?
Yes. There are certain contractual requirements when it comes to benefits. Again, some of the costs will also increase, the increased costs with the unions also increase the cost of our
I hate to be that guy, but right now there was a motion on the table. We're not following Robert's rules.
So I'll point taken.
Facts.
Let's say contract number one has a sick buyout, but it may not happen until that person leaves, right? Depending upon which union contract it is.
Well, you also have language in the contracts that allow people that have lapsed sick time to buy out certain hours. And so that is not under our purview. So we get the request occasionally for those 96 hours. I don't know what the contract language says, and I don't know how many times a year they can do that, but that's a little caveat in there. There's another contract that has language regarding, I think it's $250 we can reimburse on eyeglasses.
That was part of the benefits. Yeah.
Then you have your regular sick buyout, you have your vacation buyout, you have your comp buyout, you have AOCH buyouts. What else is there? What other?
Severance also hits anything to do with bereavement.
Yeah. And then you have that basic law enforcement training program, which if our special, our SO loses somebody.
Let me, let's go back to KISS, keep it simple. We know what the salaries are. That's an easy number to pull.
Yep.
That should be one line. And then the next lines, maybe it's an itemized thing with a total at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Because one of the itemized might be sick time and trying to figure that out on the fly real quick, for tomorrow might be,
Because in the past, what has hit us
well,
is that we
totally
throw,
agree with you.
out the reserve thing and
trying to build up severance
Right.
reserve.
and we can't keep on pulling from it.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think it's a great point. I would break these out in lines. We know we can pull it, you can pull a salary line real quick. We know that's contractual,
Yes,
period. That's a clean number.
right, that's a clean one.
So then the sick and the bereavement and whatever the other ones are, comp, whatever they are, maybe you need to break it out.
And it's been done before because
Maybe you have to break it out by contract. And then roll it up into an aggregate number. So you got comp, you got sick, whatever those lines are. So that contractually they understand, but the main one is the salary.
Yes.
The other ones could hit us at
anytime.
So
which you would have to.
So they're the variable.
Right, there is a
What
variable.
about taking what? you
I'm
pulled
with you
out
on that one, Tim.
I solved and maybe trying to do a calculation and see if there's any trend over the last, I know we got 24 and 25.
So you'd have to
There's
trend line
and
it, trend it out.
23
Yeah.
To see if we can
Yeah.
find anything, because iSolve can give us those.
Yeah, you can go back and try to see if there's a pattern in that. And then we can use that same giant.
Because if you
spreadsheet
take salary
for
plus
the
benefits,
impact
right,
on the-
we're right at 64% in a couple of points, digits, but salary plus benefits in this overall budget is 64%.
Right,
The whole budget.
and we keep on reiterating to budget committee, which is true, that they cannot touch wages. They
That's right.
can't, but we're not backing it up by putting what that percentage number is in the sheet.
So
We are obligated to do that.
I think it's easy for you by tomorrow to break that salary line out.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's
think we
it's
have
the
enough
other, it's the other, how many different pieces of puzzle are we talking about here? We're talking sick, we're talking,
Sick, bereavement, and vacation, AOC, comp, your eyeglass, and I'm trying to think of what else there could potentially be. Oh, your lap sick
Vacation.
time.
Yeah.
6.
There will always be things later on that will say that we should have, could have.
Yeah. So really there's some 6 variables there that's a lot of homework.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's
So-
been it's been something that we've had discussion about.
I think the salary is.
I'm good with salary.
Yeah,
The other 5 or 6,
The
I'd
rest
really
of it-
like time to take a look at those numbers.
Oh, absolutely.
Rather than putting soft numbers out there, I'd rather put hard numbers out there, and the hard number is salary.
yes.
So you're good with that,
Yeah.
modifying?
Yep.
I'm good with that. So we want the hard salary number for union contract salary number.
Okay.
The 5 or 6 soft numbers that we talked about, let's leave those off, but put them down there, but with no numbers. And that way they realize that these are the things that are in the contracts that we have to deal with,
These are the unexpected during
the
the year.
unexpected.
Very little
And
notice.
we will do the homework, but it's gonna take time because we gotta look at trends of buyouts and, last couple, 2 or 3 years, look at the trend line on it, just like we did benefits. I think that's a great point. I agree with the other commissioner here, to help people understand, because we're not the only county that has these issues.
Right.
It's every county in Maine, period. And it's union contracts that are, if you look at wages for non-union employees, and there's 35, you take away the commissioners, you're down to 32, then you take away the other elected positions, you're down to 29 or 28. The slope of the line for union wages are going, the slope is higher. That number's higher than the non-union employees. And so, it does create wage compressions, wage disparities, but at the same time,
It's also putting a compression on this budget, and we need to have that number to make that budget more accurate.
yes, I agree with Tim, that let's get the hard number for the salaries for unions so that they understand. Because then you can just take a look at that and put the percentage of the budget, right there on that salary, so they got the percentage. I don't want to be trying to figure out percentages, with
Right.
9 people and add 2 more and then 2 more, that's 14, 13, 14 people in a meeting. It gets a little confusing.
And overwhelming too much.
Yeah, all right.
Other than that, I'm good.
So we got a motion on the floor to,
Well, you amended it, right?
I amended it, so I just want to be clear in the motion. So are we approving option 2?
Yeah.
which is,
I'm good with option 2.
which is $14,996,654.99. And we want the salary line in there with the percentage of the union's wages in there, all in, to approve. Any more, I'll call the question, any more discussion?
Wait a second.
Can I ask a question just for clarification?
Before I call it,
When you, just to confirm, when you say special appropriations, you are also talking soil and water? I just want to make sure that that number is correct.
Isn't that in option 2?
yes,
It is, yes, but I just want to make sure that,
But we're going with option 2, so that's a yes.
okay,
Okay, because your motion was.
to
that
approve
you-
option
No,
2.
hold on. The
Okay,
motion
read
that
back.
was on the floor was that he would like to have the number that is contractual with the unions, so it would be known which part of the total could not be touched.
How about if we withdraw all the motions and come up with a clean motion? Would that help?
Yes. Or you can say your friendly edit would be that to choose
Friendly edit?
option 2.
Friendly edit option 2. And to add the salary line of the union's salaries in there with the percentage of the total budget.
Right.
There you go.
Last call.
Call the question.
Call the question. All those in favor? It's approved and recommended. Thank you. And I believe it's below the statute, so but we're checking with legal on that just to make doubly sure. Any other public comments? County Treasurer.
I just need 2 questions for understanding. Tomorrow night's meeting is a budget workshop.
We found out that the chair is under the weather, so I need to reach out just to find out what the status is. And get some clarification from him, so.
Understand, we might be getting a storm tomorrow as well.
It's just rain.
Is it just rain?
Well, but I mean, it's meant to be a
I felt
workshop.
snow on my.
Yes.
face.
Last I knew, it was a workshop.
Then I want to make a comment. We have asked all department heads to see what they could cut from their budget. And they've all responded and they've cut things from the budget. Just to throw in there, I want to say that I've been involved in county budgets. This is my 25th one. This is the most transparent county budget in my 25 years of experience. The most transparent.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate the compliment,
And I
but really
think- I
carried
think we need to
from the
look
work
back on
of
history.
everybody else here.
And I hope the budget committee has for the last 10 years, as to why there were such little increases and why some years it was less. Because now it's from home to roost. And this is what we're facing.
Yeah.
But back to what I originally, I get off on.
Yeah. I can say, history is a great teacher. We always need to keep history, parked in our mind. But I want to give a compliment to the past commissioners, for whatever reasons they made their decisions, I don't want to second guess that. They did not leave the county with any long-term debt, and that's a great position to be in. And, when you take a look at the other counties and the issues they've got going on, we've got around 1.8 million in change in active reserves that, are under they're statutory controlled by the commissioners. Expenses need to follow revenue and revenue needs to follow expenses. And that's the only way that we're going to be able to keep this picture clean and clear is to make sure that our accounting software that's coming on board is, I don't want to put bad numbers in there.
Right.
So we want to, do this right. If it takes a little bit extra longer time to do it right, I have no problem doing it because I've done database conversions before, cold start, and it's painful. So we want to make sure this gets right. And since you're here, just for the minutes and those that are listening that want to hear this, we have received the 22 audit. I've forwarded that to the draft audit to the budget chair. He's reviewing it. The commissioners have not accepted this audit yet because it's draft. There are 11 items in there, which has to do with
fixed assets,
what's the items?
fixed assets,
Fixed assets and stuff like that.
some long-term debt questions, and
Yeah.
then there's the actual overall county obligation, for sick and vacation if we have to pay out everybody.
Correct.
Um,
So those numbers, we need to get those to the auditor. That will close chapter very quickly. There's no material issues in the 22, no significant in the 22, no findings in the 22. And I didn't see any management concerns that were very, very, hitting you in the face, so to speak. So 22s are just about put to bed. I got to call the auditor and talk on the 23s. 23s, we know we have issues. But the auditor that was taking care of our audit has had to leave for a family medical leave issue. So I got to figure out who's going to be in charge going forward temporarily, with that auditing firm. So that is work in progress just for the minute. So, but thank you for the compliment. Appreciate it.
The rest of the comment was that.
Okay.
There are things that we budget that are operational outside agencies. I don't
Yes.
know what the total amount of that is, but for years I was asked to make budget cuts.
Yeah.
We funded things that weren't part of the county that we contributed to, which is really nice to do. When it comes to push and shove, maybe we can't continue to do.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that number is for this year, and I don't know how many outside agencies there are. But if we need to cut more money, those should go first.
Okay, thank you. I do want to make a comment that, with the public hearing, we listened very carefully. We took off over $2.4 million off the first presentation that we sent to the budget committee. So we've listened very, very carefully to the public. I respect their opinions. I think we both do. We respected their input, and they were very respectful, and that's appreciated on this side of the bench. So thank you. Any other public comments?
Randy Place from the town of Laurel.
Yes, Randy.
Good. One thing just kind of stood out to me was the EMA comment was the amount of grants, $10 million over a certain amount of years. Grants can be a good thing, but one of the comments was one of the paid positions was paid partially with grant money. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. One position was paid fully by grants. That position has now ended because of the uncertainty of where the grant funds are being held right now. And then the part-time position that we are paying, 9 hours of the 24 hours that we pay him are being paid with a grant.
So did that position go away after the grant money dried up?
Yes, that grant position, the fully granted position, he has been let go.
Okay, because one of the things you have to really worry about, I think, with grant money is when you start building infrastructure with grant money and things like that, there's terms and conditions that you may have to abide by. And most of those, and some of that stuff can't go away. So then all of a sudden the grant money, the building's built, you bought your vehicles or whatever, but now there's an ongoing cost that never goes away.
That's exactly right.
So we need to be careful. You build a new building, okay, you're gonna sell the old building, or is that building gonna be utilized for something else? Now we've got double buildings and that never goes away. So just in the future, everyone thinks grants are great, and they can be, maybe, but not always. I don't see too many that don't cost you money in the end. It may save you up front, but there are reoccurring costs that never go away, and that ups our counties and our budgets.
On point on that one. I agree with you totally.
So I do want to say that the gentleman that is volunteering that worked in that grant position, he is still showing up and he is still doing his work. So and Dale told me that today. He's a good gentleman. I know who he is, and he has passion.
Just the terms and conditions of these grants too. Sometimes they lock you in, and you can't. Okay, if you break this, you have to pay that grant money back if you don't release a person. I'm making stuff up now, but if you don't release a person,
yes,
or the vehicles come and go. Buying vehicles with grant money. Do you really need those vehicles? Because if you do, when they're bought and they're worn out, you're gonna have to replace them now with county money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just
I agree
for the future.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Any more comments?
I think it's imperative that because we're on recording, that people know that no matter what happens, Kevin and I will always put the county first.
Agreed.
And even though, and trust me, I know that him and I don't agree on a lot of things.
That's actually a good thing.
Him and I will always put the people first. And I just want to take a second to really say how much I appreciate you and Betty because I know that there has been a lot of times that I have not been able to be here. So I'm just taking that moment to show appreciation for the efforts and all of the shit work that you have had to do.
Note taken. Thank you. Appreciate it. And it's reciprocal. Commissioner Parker and I don't always agree, and that's a very healthy way to be.
Yeah.
Because it brings a different perspective to an idea, to a cost, to whatever we're trying to accomplish. So thank you.
Yep.
That's it. Motion to adjourn.
So
We're adjourned. Thank you.